This is Sean Zernick with Internet Work Consulting. I'm going to go over programming practices and how to make maintainable code. Well, I guess if we're going to do a video, I should at least be dressed professionally. Now that we're done with the formalities, let's go over different coding practices. This episode, we're going to cover keeping it simple. When doing software development, understand that writing good code is about no longer how complex or how efficiently you approach a situation. A lot has changed since computers first came around in the 1950s, where you had only a couple of kilobytes of memory and a really slow processor. Now we've got gigabytes and terabytes of memory. We have 4 cores that run at 4 gigahertz each. Each one of our computers is a mini mainframe in itself compared to where we started 50, 60 years ago. So back in the day, the paradigm shift, hardware was more expensive than the labor to do the programming. So we had to come up with ingenious ways of being more and more efficient. And with each one of those efficiencies came a whole new level of complexity and comprehension that's required. As time has gone on, machines have become much more powerful and much cheaper. And nowadays, when you're talking about the cost of software, it's not about the hardware or the infrastructure, it's about the people to implement it. So when you're writing your code, you want to write the code that's as simple as possible. You want to write the code for the next programmer that comes along. You're not writing the code for your brevity and ease, but to make the next guy's job easier. Your code will be around for years, 10, 20 years, and having good clean code can build in a lot of efficiencies over those years. If you use complicated syntax, or let's say to divide by 2 you drop the least significant bit, then the next guy that comes around and looks at it's going to look at that code wondering, why are we dropping a bit? But that's not what we're really doing. What we're trying to do is divide by 2, and he has to spend 15, 20 seconds to comprehend that. Now you've got that against a programming team of 10 people over a time frame of 10, 20 years. Those little nuances to how you program can cost the business $10, $20, $30,000 over the life of the program. We're programming for the next guy. It's not about you. Don't take course shortcuts. Don't use abbreviations because you don't want to type the extra. Don't start using anonymous variables because, again, you don't want to type or declare a variable. Those shortcuts cost more in the long run. Number 2, your code should always be comprehensible by someone with less than 1 year experience. There's always exceptions to rules, and we can come up with a list of them. If you have to do something complicated, then you want to wrap that up in an object or a library or within a function, so the next programmer doesn't even have to look inside that function. The function should have a good name, clear parameters, and well documented before you get in there. The next programmer can avoid the complexities of whatever you're trying to accomplish. A programmer with less than 1 year experience should be able to maintain the code and fix bugs. This does lower the cost of software development maintenance on the back-end side more so, because we don't have to hire an engineer with 10 plus years experience. We can stick with the tried and true methods, the ones that they teach people in college. Most of that is all that's required to get the job done. This is Keeping It Simple on different programming practices and software development. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you can stay in the loop the next time we send something out. Again, this is Sean Zernick with Internet Work Consulting, your source for computer, network, internet, and software development services.